Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the search is finally over in Old Saybrook. The bodies of two men missing since a boating accident Monday have been recovered. Now loved ones begin the grieving process as the Coast Guard continues its investigation. The latest coming up in a live report.
And today, new documents shed light on the death of a baby girl in Milford. A motel worker found the baby's body 2 weeks ago. We've looked at the newly released arrest warrant and what it says about the man accused of her murder.
A community comes together to remember a young police officer killed in the line of duty a year ago. How family and friends and former colleagues are making sure the memory of Bobby Garden never fades.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Tonight, a search that stretched the entire week is over. The bodies of two missing boaters in Old Saybrook have been recovered. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. It was an emotional day. In fact, all week, families have been anxiously waiting for news.
The two men were among the 9 boaters who had crashed into a breakwater at the mouth of the Connecticut River on Monday night. Fox 61's Kaylee Collins has been following the search throughout the week and joins us live from Saybrook Point Resort and Marina right now.
Yeah, Kaylee, can you give us an idea of where their bodies were found? Were they far out from the marina?
Yeah, Sarah, Brent, definitely an emotional week here, and that first body was found shortly after 12 noon today, just east of the marina and resort area here and about a quarter mile away from the crash site. The second body was found just hours later, and while their loved ones do have some sense of closure now, that investigation into just what happened and what led to that boat crash continues to move forward. A tragic ending to a search that stretched days. The bodies of two men missing since Labor Day evening found on Friday.
I didn't know them personally, but I do know people that knew them, knew the parents, and everybody said they were good kids. It's just accidents happen.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to both families.
The two men, said to be in their mid-20s, were among the 9 passengers on board a boat that crashed into a breakwater late on Labor Day evening. The crash left one dead on the scene, identified by police as 34-year-old Chris Hallahan of Westbrook. 6 others were injured. Crews located the first missing man shortly after noon on Friday and the second just hours later.
I also want to thank all the first responders, all the assets that came out to help. Their tireless efforts have been remarkable, and the family definitely sends their appreciation to all the assets and first responders that have been out here assisting in the search.
Identities of the 2 recovered bodies have not yet been released, and there's still no word on what caused the crash.
You know, rumors are around, alcohol involved, speed involved, It doesn't really make a difference at this point because people lost their lives.
We are continuing to follow every single lead that we can come up with. Our boating accident reconstruction unit will be trying to reconstruct the accident as best they can.
The boat itself remains at ENCON Police Headquarters, where it's being examined as part of the investigation. Just a tragic accident here in Old Saybrook, and earlier today police were not able to provide any update on the injuries of those 6 people who were injured in the crash, including the boat's operator, who we do know was in critical condition earlier this week. We'll continue to keep you updated on any new information as we learn more. Live in Old Saybrook tonight, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kaylee, thank you. It's at least a relief that the family has gotten some closure here.
For the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, that's
time now for a first check on the forecast, and we have some rain to contend with tomorrow, but it's not going to be all day.
Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Samperi. Hi, Sam.
Hi there, Brett and Sarah. Yes, it looks like showers will come into late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, and that's really about it. For the most part, it's not going to be a bad weekend. Right now, it's a little mild and muggy outside. I noticed that being outside this evening. 68 Hartford, 70 in New Haven. You can see temperatures in the 60s and lower 70s. Of course, the cooler towns up in northwestern and eastern areas, otherwise 65 to 70. Watch a band of showers and thunderstorms right along here. There's even a little weak tornado warning in western New York State. Not going to bother us. That'll weaken out. and this system will die out overnight into tomorrow morning. So overnight, we're going to be partly to mostly cloudy. It'll be mild and relatively on the muggy side with low temperatures into the 60s. And your backyard forecast for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, more humid. And it looks like we're going to have some late afternoon showers. This should be late afternoon. We'll say around 4 to 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And the temperatures will be averaging in the 70s. Here's a little preview. Sunday is a beauty. And not only Sunday, but also Monday and coming up. We'll detail how long this beautiful stretch of weather will last on your Fox 61 7-day forecast in a few minutes. Brett and Sarah?
All right, Sam, thank you. Sounds good. We continue our coverage tonight of a fire that ripped through a home in Middlefield, killing a young child and leaving a family in grief and a community in shock. Tonight, we're learning more about the victim, the investigation, and the neighborhood. Fox 61's Matt Caron reports.
Hearts are heavy here in Middlefield, a community in mourning, a life lost too soon, tragically taken here in a house fire. Behind us, neighbors say they will rally to wrap their arms around a grieving family. 1 a.m. Friday, all was quiet in the Middlefield neighborhood of Dwight Drive.
This is the first terrible thing that's happened in a long, long time.
Just 5 minutes later, tragedy.
Whole night I can sleep, whole night.
Kadita Akhtar and her family awoke to screams of help coming from a neighbor's home.
Then I heard the scream like a few times.
Akhtar, her husband and son watched helplessly as what started as an orange glow quickly turned into an inferno, spewing thick black smoke.
If I could help them, I would feel better. But I can't. I see the fire department here, and they help them. But I just pray everyone will be fine.
A few houses down, Bill Weckesser watched as the all-volunteer firemen, many of whom live in the neighborhood, quickly arrived.
We have firemen right here.
They got word someone was trapped inside and attempted a rescue, instead finding a body on the porch.
You never get over it. You just live with it. That's all you can do.
Weckesser himself, no stranger to tragedy, losing 2 of his family members.
44 years ago, lost a son in an accident, and I hope I don't start crying. And then 30 years later, we also lost a grandson. Both of those boys are lost in automobile accidents.
As night turned to day, the devastation became clear, and so did the picture of a community in mourning as a makeshift memorial by the mailbox began to expand.
Loss of life. We are a small community, and everybody knows everybody or has a connection with everybody.
Region 13 School District Superintendent Doug Such released a statement confirming the victim was a student of the John Lyman Elementary School, saying, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the family." And tonight, the investigation continues as we work to determine the identity of that young child as well as what caused the fire. The fire chief tells us one person was able to escape the home along with a dog and that the home did have working smoke detectors. Reporting in Middlefield, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Heart breaks for the family. All right, thank you, Matt. Now today, new details about the death of an infant in a Milford motel room. An arrest warrant has been released by police, and we've learned a motel staff member found the baby girl dead inside an infant bathtub filled with water. The arrest warrant for 31-year-old Dale Kirkland says video cameras captured him walking into a room at the Mayflower with the baby on August 20th. He was seen leaving the next day without her. The cause of death hasn't been released, although doctors say there was no obvious sign of trauma. A witness told police she had spoken with Kirkland a week before, and he appeared to be disheveled, and the baby was in a dirty diaper. Police are still not releasing details about the child's mother or the relationship between Kirkland and the baby. He's due in court on the 26th.
And new at 10, a busy week for police in Windsor Locks. They were called several times to the Bradley Inn. Saturday, officers arrested 2 people accused of robbing a man in his room with a machete and a fake gun. Then yesterday, they were called by the DCF to help a child found with drugs in their system. No arrests in that case, but police say the investigation remains open and further action is expected. Finally, police say they arrested 3 people yesterday. Montaser Hussein of East Windsor was charged with allegedly selling drugs. Walter Tim was charged with drug possession, and Michael Blackman of Hartford was charged with driving under the influence. Police say the Bradley Inn has been a problem in recent years with high levels of crime and numerous calls for service.